Hello friends, welcome to Learner's Planet. Friends, in this session I'm taking the questions from SBI PO 2000 prelims paper from reasoning section. So let's begin the session. So now we have some questions from quadratic equations. Here two sets of equation have been given for some 5 questions are there, and we have to solve each and every equation, and we have to find out whether x is greater than y, equal to y, or some 5 relations are given over here. So we have to choose the correct option. So for that we need to solve each and every quadratic equation, right? So I just now good number of students are confused how to save time. That is like sometimes you take lot of time to solve quadratic equations. So I just share a method with you. You just need to practice with the method to get a grip on that, right? So suppose we have to solve any equation. I just take a very simple equation. I have suppose 2x square plus 5x plus 2, right? I have to factorize it, right? Now what has to be done to do it in very fast manner? What I can do is just split the middle number in such a way that the ratio of first part and first or I can say this and the first number and this number, suppose these are the two numbers. So first part and first number, the ratio of the first part and first number should be same to the second part and the second number, right? So it's what like 5 can be broken into 4:1, right? So 4 and 1. Now what you can do, 2x square and 4. So this is 2 and 4, right? So the ratio will be 1:2. 1:2. So 1:2 can be written as x plus 2. The ratio 1:2 can be converted to x plus 2, right? 2 and 4. So 1:2. So 1x plus 2. Okay. Now for the next factor, what you can do, 2x square divided by x, you will be getting 2x. Then this constant term 2 divided by this constant term 2 divided by 2, 1. So these are the factors of 2x square plus 5x plus 2. So if you simply find out the breakup of the number, you can make the factors very easily, right? You can get the factors very easily. So x is equal to -2 and x is equal to -half. These are the factors of, these are the values of x for this particular equation. So the same funda can be applied to all the equations and you can find out the factors very fast, but you need to practice. Similarly, suppose I have one more example, say 2x square plus 7x plus 5, right? So here the breakup can be 2:5, right? So 2:2, 1:1 and 5:5, 1:1. So 1:1, that means x plus 1, right? 2x square divided by x, it's 2x, 5 divided by 1, 5. So the factors are x plus 1 and 2x plus 5. So that is pretty simple. Similarly, suppose I have 2x square minus 5x minus 3. So here I want it to be minus 6. I can take 2 and 2, that's 2 and 3, right? So 2, the ratio 1:1 and 1:1. But when we take this 2:3, you can very well observe that it is 1:1, right? But this ratio is 1:-1. Okay, so this breakup is wrong. So instead of that, we can take 6 and 1. That is -6 and 1. So this ratio is 1:-3. So this ratio will also be 1:-3, right? So 1:-3. That means x minus 3. 2x square divided by x, 2x, minus 3 divided by -3 plus 1. So these are the factors. So pretty simple once again. So if you have negative sign, then also not to worry. I take 1 or 2 more examples. Suppose now I have 3x square plus x minus 14. So 14 into 3, 42. So the negative 42. So we can take the numbers as 6 and 7. 6 into 7 is 42. But we want positive x. So what we can do is we can take 7 and 6, right? So 6 and 7. So here it is 1:-2. So here it should be -6. -6 plus 7. So 1:-2. That means x minus 2. 3x square divided by x 3x, and minus 14 divided by minus 2 is plus 7. So the factors are x minus 2 into 3 and 3x plus 7, right? Now I take this question. 15 3s are 45 and 9 and 5 45. 9 and 5. 1 is to 3, 1 is to 3. So x plus 3, then 3x square, that divided by x, and 3x, and this plus 5, right? So it is minus 3 and minus 5 by 3. Similarly, 12 into 6, 72. So it is 8 and 9. So I can take 9 and 8. 2 is to 3, 2 is to 3, right? So 2y plus 3, right? 2 is to 3, 2y plus 3. Then it is 6y square 2y, that is 3y plus 4, right? So it is minus 3 by 2 and minus 4 by 3. Now we have to find out the relationship between x and y. Now x is minus 3 or minus 5 by 3, and y is minus 3 by 2, that is minus 1.5 and minus 1 point some 3. So these both the values of y are greater than both the values of x, right? So in both the cases y is greater than x. That means in all y is greater than x, or I can say x is less than y. So x is less than y, option 3, right? Similarly, 3 into 24 72, so it should be 9 and 8, 9 and 8. 1 is to minus 3. So this also minus it. 1 is to minus 3, and this is minus 1 is to 3, or I can say 1 is to minus 3, right? So what I can say, 1 is to minus 3, that means x minus 3. Then 3x square divided by x, 3x, 24 divided by minus 3, so that is minus 8. Okay, so the factors are x minus 3 and 3x minus 8. That means x is 3 or 8 by 3. 14 into 4 56, so this will be minus 9 into 7 8s are 56, so I just take 7 and 8. 4 is to 7, and minus 4 is to plus 7, or 4 is to minus 7, right? So it is 4y minus 7, and then y minus 2. So the values are 7 by 4 and 2. So 8 by 3, that is 2 point something, and 8 by 3, 3 and 8 by 3. So it is 2 point something, and it is 1 point something, and it is 2. That means both the values of y are less than both the values of x, right? So in this case, both the values of x are greater. That means x is always greater than y. So x is greater than y, option 1. Okay. 2 into 14 28, so 7 is to 4, or I can say 4 and 7. 1 is to 2, that means x plus 2, then x plus 7. So x is equal to minus 2 and minus 7. I'm sorry, 2x plus 7. So x is equal to minus 2 and minus 7 by 2. 33 into 2 66, so 11 and 6. So 6 and 11, 1 is to 3, 1 is to 3. So it is x plus 3, then it is, I'm sorry, y plus 3, then it is 2y plus 11. So it is minus 3 minus 11 by 2. Now this is 3 minus 3.5, and this is minus 5.5. So this value is definitely less than both the values of x. But this value minus 3, that is actually greater than this value of x, that is minus 3.5, right? So, and minus 2 is greater than this minus 3. So one value of x is greater than this value, but one value of x is less than this value. right? So sometimes x is greater, sometimes y is greater. Okay, so we cannot establish a relationship between x and y over here. So here option 5. Okay, 12 into 3 36, so we can take 9 and 4, 1 is to 3, 1 is to 3, so it is x plus 3, then it is 3x plus 4. Similarly 27 into 2 54, so 9 and 6, so 6 and 9, 1 is to 3, 1 is to 3, so it is y plus 3, then we have 2y plus 9, so it is minus 3 minus 4 by 3, and this is minus 3 minus 9 by 2. So in one case x and y are equal, right? And in another case minus 4 by 3, and this is minus 9 by 2. So definitely y is less than x. Minus 9 by 2, that is minus 4.5, and this is minus 1 point something. So y is less than x. So I can say x is greater than equal to y. Sometimes x is greater, as in this case, and sometimes x is equal to y. So x is greater than equal to y. So we have option B. Okay, option 2. Now the last one. Here 11 and 11, so precisely it is x minus 11 whole square. So both the values are 11 and 11. Over here it is 11 and minus 11. So sometimes they are equal, sometimes x is greater than y. So once again x is greater than y, greater than equal to y. So that is option B, 2. So I hope you are clear with all the questions. Now we have this question from blood relations. So let's try this. S is the daughter of U. So S, I just put S over here, daughter of U, that means S is female, right? Okay, V has 2 children, S and Y. Now S is daughter of U and V has children, that is also S. So that means U and V should be married, right? So S and Y. For married, I am making a plus sign. For relation, for any other relation or the same generation, I am making this dash sign. So S and Y. Then Y is married to D. So Y plus D. Okay, we don't know their status, male or female. Y is married to D. P is brother of B. V has only 2 daughters. So V has 2 daughters. These two are siblings. V has 2 daughters. If this is female, that means this should also be female. And if Y and D married, that means D must be male. So Y is married to D. P is brother of B. V has only 2 daughters, that we have done. J is mother of U. So J, and that is female. J is married to L. Okay. P is married to S. V is the son of T. So V is the son of T. So V here male and U female. V is son of T, and the last is P is brother of B. So P and B. So this is the tree, and that is complete now. Who among the following is a sister-in-law of B? Now B and P, brother sister. Maybe brother, maybe sister, we don't know. P is but male, so P is brother of B and P's wife is S. So B and S. S is definitely sister-in-law, that is Bhabhi of B. Okay, so that is S. Who among the following is the father of U? Father of U should be definitely L. How is V related to P? So V and P. So S is V's daughter and P is her husband. So V and P, mother-in-law. That means V is mother-in-law, or I'm sorry, father-in-law of P. V is male. So V is father-in-law of P. So that is this. Okay, so pretty simple. Once you make this family chart, then answering all the questions will be a matter of less than a minute. Direction sense. For that, we need to know the basic directions. It's east, west, north and south. So point A is 30 meters to the east of point P. So here point P, and that is point A, 30 meters east. Okay. Point C is 10 meters to the south of point A. 10 meters, point C. Okay. Point D is 15 meters to the west of point C. West, that means this side. So it is point D is 15 meters to the west. So that is 15, that is midway. Okay, so point D is 15 meters to the point C. Point E is exactly in the middle of point D and F. Okay, point D, E, F lie in a straight line. The length of line D, E, F is 20 meters. Point F is to the north of point D. Okay, north of point F is to the north of point D. So F is in this line. And D, E, F. So D, need to make D, E, F is 20 meters. This is actually 10 meters. So D, F is 20. F, this is 10. So this is somewhere 10. So, and this point should be E, because E is point E is exactly in the middle of point D and F. So this is D, this is F, this complete length is 20, so this length is 10, this length is 10. Okay, then point F is to the north of point D, that we have done. Point G is 15 meters to the east of point F. So east of point F, 15 meters. So here it is 15 meters and this is point G. Okay, now how far and in which direction is point G from point A? So this is 30, I'm sorry, this is 10 actually. This total distance is 20, so this is 10. So this is 10 and that is towards north. So 10 meters towards north. Okay, how far in which direction? From point A, if we see, G is on the north side and 10 meters. So 10 meters north. Okay. I hope you are clear. Okay. A person starts from his house and moves towards the market. He walks 40 meters towards south. Suppose I start from here towards south 40 meters. Okay. Then he takes 40 minutes and take a right turn. Now the person is facing this side. Just try to imagine the situation facing this side, because he is walking this way. Then that means his right is this. Okay, and this is the left. So he takes a right turn after walking 30 meters. Okay, this is suppose 30 meters. Now his face is on this side. So he takes a left turn. Left turn, that means this way. So further he walks 20 meters. Okay, now he's facing this way and he takes left turn and reach the market after walking 30 meters. So left turn will be this way. So that is 30 meters. Okay. And this was also 30, this is also 30, so these are like having equal length. So this is market. So this is started from this position and ended up over here. So this is 20, so this must be 20, right? So from market, the house is on the north right? Because from market we have to see on this side. So this is north, and 40 plus 20 60 meters. So precisely 60 meters north. Okay. From market to house 60 meters north, from house to market 60 meters south. Okay. So be very clear with north and south. We have a set of questions, 5 questions, linear arrangement. C, D, E, F, N, O, P, Q are sitting in a straight line facing north. That means this is right, this is left. O is, okay, just we start arranging. O is sitting second to the right of P. So right of P second. O is sitting second to the right of P. So this is done. E is sitting third to the left of Q. Okay, we don't have any connection of E and Q over here. F is sitting fourth to the left of P. So fourth, 1, 2, 3 and fourth. That is F. Okay, so this is also done. Okay, then we have E is sitting third to the left of Q. That means there are 2 people between E and Q. Okay, so E dash dash Q, we can set E over here dash dash Q. See, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 positions already occupied. We just need 8th position. So if we start from here E, then E will be at extreme position, but E does not sit on extreme end, so we cannot have this arrangement. So suppose I start from E over here, so E dash dash Q, that is also not possible because P is over here. So we can start E from this position. So E dash dash Q. Okay. Then we have D is immediate neighbor of neither F nor P. So D cannot be over here, D cannot be over here. So we can have D over here. And even D cannot be over here because D is not immediate neighbor of F. Okay, so this is D. Now we are left, C is not immediate neighbor of P. That means C can be here. Then the remaining is N. Okay, so this is the arrangement. Now it's very easy to answer all the questions. Which of the following pairs represent the 2 persons sitting at the extreme end, that is F and D? Okay. Which of the following statement is definitely true as per the given arrangement? So F and E are immediate neighbors of galat, wrong. C is sitting third to the right of Q, wrong. There are only 3 persons between D and E, D and E, that's also wrong. Okay, N is sitting to the immediate left of P, that is right. Pretty simple. Who among the following is sitting third to the right of N? N and right third is O. Okay. What is the position of C with respect to Q? Q and C. 1, 2, 3, fourth. Fourth left. Fourth to the left. Pretty simple. So you can answer even all the questions. One more question is left, but that's pretty easy. Once you make the arrangement, the question answering is really very easy. So if you take 1 or 2 minutes to arrange to make this arrangement, the remaining work is just of 1 minute. So the 5 questions can be done in just 3 minutes. Okay. Now we take questions from syllogism section. The first one is, all magazines are journals, some journals are periodicals. Here the conclusions are some different. So what we do, we just try to draw the Venn diagram after reading the conclusion, so we can get the correct Venn diagram. So all magazines are journals, some journals are periodicals, all periodicals are bulletins. Okay, some periodicals are definitely not journals. So first of all magazines are journals. So this is the possibility, all magazines are journals. Okay, then some journals are periodicals. So we have to relate periodicals and journals. So some journals are periodicals. So we can draw the Venn diagram like this, and we can draw the Venn diagram like this, right? This is the circle of periodical. So in this case, some journals are periodicals, right? Some of the part of the journal circle is occupied by periodical, and this is also a possibility, right? When some journal is periodical, some journals are periodicals, right? So if this is the possibility, then all the periodicals are journals, and this is the possibility, some periodicals are journals. So we cannot comment upon this. Some periodicals are definitely not journals. If this is the case, then some periodicals are definitely journals. But if this is the case, then some periodicals are definitely not journals. But we are able to draw two Venn diagrams, so we cannot conclude this. Right? So we cannot conclude some periodicals are definitely not journals because we are able to make that Venn diagram over here. Right? So this conclusion cannot be drawn. Again, for this conclusion, all magazines are journals. Magazines, journals. Some journals are periodicals. We have to relate periodicals and magazines. So we need to draw the relation between journals and magazines. So this some journals are periodicals. So some journals are periodicals. There are two possibilities, this and this. Okay, in this case, all the periodicals are magazines. In this case, of the periodicals are not magazine, and there is also one next possibility that there is some overlapping between magazine and periodicals, right? So we have three possibilities for the periodical circle, right? Apart from that, we have more, but in this case we have to find out the relationship between magazine and periodicals, so I'm not using this. So all periodicals being a magazine is a possibility. Yes, in this case we have three possibilities. So all periodicals being a magazine is a possibility. We are not sure, but in conclusion we are asked about the possibility. So yes, possibility is there, right? In this case, all periodicals are magazines. Okay, but if it is asked all periodicals are magazines, that will not be correct, because that is not correct because we have three possibilities. But when we are discussing possibility is definitely there, right? So conclusion second is true. Only conclusion 2 follows. So option 2. I hope you are clear. Now in this the conclusion, the set of conclusion for the same statements, at least some bulletins are journals. So all magazines are journals. Once again, magazines, journals. Then we have to find out the relationship between bulletins and journals. So some journals are periodicals. So maybe some journals are periodicals. All periodicals are bulletins. All periodicals are bulletins. So at least some bulletins are journals. So in any case, some bulletins will be definitely journals because we have a portion common between bulletins and journals, right? So this conclusion can be drawn. Now bulletin is a magazine. We cannot say that. While we are drawing this circle of bulletins, the circle can go like this also, right? So some portion of bulletin and magazine may overlap. Right? So we are not sure about that. This no bulletin is a magazine. So this conclusion cannot be drawn. We are not sure of it. Okay? So our only conclusion first can be drawn. So this A. I hope you are getting my point. See, the important thing over here is whether you are able to draw the Venn diagram or not. Most of this good number of students, they really find it difficult to draw the correct Venn diagram, and they just go for some other shortcut techniques for solving syllogisms. But once you practice with Venn diagram, any type of syllogism you will be able to solve. Sometimes the students send like very simple problems from syllogism section. Sometimes possibility cases they ask for. Sometimes some very simple cases they ask, because they are not clear with the Venn diagram concept, and this is really logical concept. No rectification is required over here while you are using the concept of Venn diagram. So I suggest you practice with Venn diagram, so you'll be like able to do any damn problem from syllogism section. Okay, and it just takes like few seconds to solve the problems from Venn diagram. Okay, I take the next one. All turns are loops. All turns are loops. No loop is a bend. So bend is altogether a different circle. Some bends are curves. So bend and curves are various possibilities like this also. or like this also. Okay, so let's see. At least some curves are loops. So we cannot say that because this circle is entirely different. We can this curved circle can intersect this like this, and it may intersect, it may not, right? So we are not sure about it. So just cut it. No bend is a turn. So bend and turn, definitely they will never intersect. Okay, because loop and bend, they are not intersecting. So bend and turn, they will never intersect. So no bend is a turn. That conclusion can be drawn. Right? So only conclusion 2 is true. So further option P. Now let's see this one. No country is a village. Okay, pretty simple. Country and village. All villages are district. So there are two possibilities. One is this, and one, the circle may intersect the circle of country. Okay, so all countries are district. So we cannot say that. All districts are villages. All district are villages. We cannot say that. There are to see all villages are districts. So this is also one possibility, like the circle of village and district may overlap each other, right? Entire circles. And this is also the case. So we cannot be so sure that all districts are villages because we have two possibilities, this and this. Okay, so even we are not sure for this. So neither conclusion 1 nor conclusion 2 follows. Option 4. I hope you are clear. All progress are growth. So this is a circle of growth. All progress are growth. All developments are growth. So even development circle is inside this. Maybe the progress and development circle, they intersect each other. May be and may not be. So all developments are growth. No growth is an evaluation. So evolution. So evolution circle is entirely different. Okay. So all development being progress is a possibility. So all development being, yes. See this, the circle of development can be inside the circle of progress, and vice versa is also possible. Like that the circle of progress can be inside the development. So that is, they are asking about possibility. So possibility is for sure there, right? So this is possible. This conclusion can be drawn. No evolution is a progress. So evolution and progress, we are sure because evolution and growth, they are not intersecting each other. So evolution and development, evolution and progress, the circle will never intersect each other. So this is also true. So if both the conclusion 1 and 2 follow, we have option 5. Right? Pretty simple. Now we have questions from inequalities. Here statements have been given and conclusions have been given. We need to find out which of the conclusion or both or neither of them are true. So let's combine the statements. So we can see D is there in all the three statements. So using D, we can combine the statements. So first of all, Y is less than equal to K is less than D. And since D is equal to S, so if D is less than V, S will also be less than V, right? So this is the first one and this is less than O. Then now we see a change of sign, right? Here D, we can see the sequence. Now D is less than equal to G, and then further D is less than Q. So there are three statements. This is the first one, second one, and the third one. See, in this entire statement, the sign remains same. Either it is less than or less than equal to. So that's very easy for us to find out the relationship between any two elements in this particular statement, right? Over here, D is less than equal to G, and D is less than equal to Q. So less than Q, I'm sorry. So whenever this sort of situation is there, we cannot make any comparison. See here D and S equal. So D is less than V, and here D is less than equal to G, and D is less than Q. So in these sort of cases, we cannot make any comparison between V, G, and Q. Right? D is less than V, D is less than Q, D is less than equal to G, but we cannot make any comparison between V, G and Q or O, G and Q, right? So the first one is G and V. So as I've already told you, we cannot make any comparison between G and V, right? Because this is a different sequence. So any element from this sequence and from this sequence, we cannot make a comparison. So we cannot say G is greater than V. Then Y and Q. Y and Q. Now that's very simple. We can connect these two parts, this part and this part, right? Y is less than equal to K, K is less than D, D is less than Q. So definitely Y is less than Q. So these two parts can be combined. So Y is less than Q, that can be easily concluded. And I hope you are able to understand the difference between these two. Here D is less than equal to G and D is less than V, right? So D is, in both the cases we are having this less than, at least less than sign, less than equal to or less than sign. So we cannot make any comparison between these two. Okay, so only second conclusion is true. So we have option 2. And for the same question, K is less than O. So yes, K and O, both of them are in the same sequence, and the sequence is maintaining this sign, this less than sign. So K is definitely less than O, that can be concluded. Again, G is equal to V, we cannot say because D is less than G and D is less than V. So we cannot make any comparison between G and V, same as in this case. We cannot say whether it is greater or equal to or less. Okay, so option 1 is true, that only conclusion 1 is true. Next is D is less than L and L is, so first of all we just combine. D is less than L is equal to A less than equal to F is equal to N. So we see the similarity, the symmetricity over here, less than sign, less than equal to sign and equal to sign. So we can make comparison between any two elements in this statement. So the first is N is greater than D. Now we have this greater than sign, L is greater than D, so definitely N will be definitely greater than D. So this one is correct, right? A is less than equal to F, so that's there, so that is also correct. So both the conclusions are true. Okay, so option 5. Okay, once again we have 3 statements, so let's combine, and the combination can be, we have J and we have Z. Okay, so first of all, B is greater than Z is equal to R is greater than equal to M is less than J, and J is less than equal to H, and here we have J is greater than P, then simultaneously we have Z is greater than K. Now according to the conclusion, we'll just connect we'll try to connect the statements. I'm sorry, Z is greater than K. Okay, so the first is H and P. Now we can combine these two parts, right? So J is less than equal to H and J is greater than P. Definitely that means H is greater than P, because we have this greater than sign over here. Now instead of this greater than sign, if it is greater than equal to sign, then we cannot say H is greater than P. In that case, H is greater than equal to P, right? Yeah, so H is, I'm sorry, there is a printing mistake, that's this sign. So H is definitely greater than P, so this one is true. B and M. So for B and M, we have this sequence. We have this greater than sign, and the sequence is symmetric. So B is definitely greater than M, because we have one greater than sign over here in this statement, right? So B is definitely greater than M. So both the statements are true. or in case if it is given less than P, then only this one will be true. Okay, so maybe it is a printing mistake, maybe not, but you should be clear with both the cases. If it is greater than sign, then both the statements or both the conclusions are true. If it is less than, then only conclusion 2 is true. Okay, so just we just have to see whether it is a printing mistake or not, and but I hope you are clear with the this explanation. Now we have to find the relationship between K and J. So see here, Z is in this statement, J is over here, and so we cannot make any comparison between J and K, right? Because this sequence and this sequence is different, right? We cannot make comparison between J and Z. We cannot make comparison between J and R because the sign is changed. Over here, this greater than sign is going on, and in the entire sequence, greater than or greater than equal to or equal to. But in this statement, the sign is changed to less than. Right? So we cannot make any comparison between the right hand side element of M and left hand side elements of M. Right? So since J is on the right hand side and Z is on the left hand side, and we have the relationship between Z and K, so we cannot make any comparison between J and K. Okay? So this we cannot say. R and H. Further, R is in this statement and H is in this statement where the sign is changed. So we cannot make any comparison between R and H. Okay, so even this we cannot conclude. So neither conclusion 1 nor conclusion 2 is true. So option 4. All this basics I have already discussed in inequalities trick session. So if you are not clear for this for these particular questions on these particular questions, you can just refer that session once again. So these sort of questions will be very you'll be able to do very easily. The only thing you have to be careful, when the signs are changed from the right hand side and left hand side, you cannot make any comparison, right? Over here we can see there is a sign change after M. So you cannot compare between the elements which are left hand side of M and right hand side of M. Okay? So that is the only thing you have to be careful. Otherwise the questions are really very easy. Now there are 5 questions from coding decoding, and seems to be very simple in a certain code language. Good time to buy is written as this. So what you can do is you can crack or you can decode the words, right? See, good time to buy and invest money and time. Only one word is common, that is time, right? Time and time. So in these two we have SY as common. That means time is SY. Okay, similarly we can make comparison between the other two. Suppose we have invest money and time, our work and money. Okay, so we have and common and money common, right? So this code should be common. So we have ta, mr, ta, mr, right? Ta, mr. These are for money and. Okay. Similarly, only work and money, buy good stuff only. So we have only common, only common. So between these two we have FP as common. So FP, that is only. Right? But initially you don't have to decode everything. What you can do is just move to the question and just proceed accordingly. Right? Whenever you require, just try to decode that particular word only. Just don't try all of them in starting. Now what is the code for to in the given code language? Now to we can see only over here in the first one. So what we can do, we have to find out for the remaining ones. So time we have already done. Buy over here, and good, buy and good. So buy and good. So what are the two things which are common? We have KW and good is BO and BO, right? So buy good, we have correct. Then SY is already for time, that means NJ is for 2. So NJ is for 2. Okay. Now what is the code for buy good? Okay, buy good we have already done, that is KWBO. So maybe the order may be different. Okay, so that is KWBO, that is BOKW, right? So that's pretty simple. So what is the code for only, time and money? So for only we have FP, so we need to have FP. So just delete or just remove the options which do not have FP. Okay, so there is no FP in this. After that we have time. Time is SY. Okay, so delete the options which do not have SY. So it does not have SY, it does not have SY, right? So only time. Then end is money, and end we have TA and MR, right? So end and money we have TA and MR. So TA and MR we have TA, MR, SY, FP, all of them over here. So that is option 4, right? So that is pretty simple. I hope you are getting this. Now what is the code for stuff in the given code language? Now stuff we can find over here. Now buy good, KWBO, that's already done. Only we already know that it is FP. So remaining word, that is stuff, is RD. Okay, so that's pretty simple. So that's actually RD. Maybe there is a printing mistake, that is RD, because we don't have any ID over here. So this one is the correct one. Okay, we don't have any ID, that is just RD. Okay, what is the code for invest time to work? So invest, see for time we have SY, and for 2 we have NJ, that we have already done over here. So let's see SY and NJ and delete the remaining which do not have SY and NJ. So here we do not have NJ, here we do not have SY not there, NJ not there. So this is the only option where we have SY and NJ, both of them. So you don't have to decode the remaining one, that is invest and work. Okay, we just can do it with time and 2 only, right? So all the 5 questions we did very easily. It should not take more than 4 minutes or 3 minutes, maximum I can say 3 to 4 minutes it should take to crack all the 5 questions, right? Now we have this circular setting arrangement question. In this particular set of questions, some people are facing inside and some people are facing outside. So sometimes this sort of problems become difficult to solve, difficult to crack, or maybe sometimes time consuming. So what I suggest, in your examination time, you can leave these sort of problems initially. Once you like go through all the problems, then at last when you are left with the time, then you should attempt these sort of problems. Okay, otherwise you will be wasting too much time to crack the problem. So here 8 persons are there, and some equal distances they are sitting, but not necessarily in the same order. Some of them are facing center and other are facing outside, right? So that is opposite to center. So that's a note given over here. Now this is the information that is available to us. So first of all, let's draw a circle and make 8 positions. So here I have the circle. So that's, I just draw a nice one. Wait a moment. Now we start reading the information that is given over here. Then we just try to make the arrangement. R is sitting second to the right of Q. Since we don't know R is facing towards center or outside the center, we just cannot say like R is sitting second to the right of Q, that is R is over here and Q is over here or over here. So what we can assume from what we can find from this is there is one person between R and Q. That's it. Okay, there is just one person between R and Q. So it may be RQ or QR, right? Only 3 persons are sitting between R and S. That means 3 persons sitting between R and S mean R and S are opposite to each other. Suppose R here, S here, right? So they are diagonally opposite to each other. So R, S. 3%, so this way. Okay. T is sitting second to the right of R. Once again, R and T, there's just 1% between R and T. Now T faces the center. Now this is the important clue for us. T faces the center. So what I do, I just make T sit over here and mark the direction that T faces the center. So this is the marking that he is facing towards center. Okay. Now, so this is done. R and S face opposite direction. P and face opposite direction. N is sitting second to the left of P. We cannot make this arrangement because we don't know whether they are facing in or out. P is not an immediate neighbor of Q. Only one person is sitting. So we just find the connection between T, connection with T. So here M is sitting third to the left of T. Now T is, since he is facing center, third to the left of T. That means left will be in this direction. So 1, 2, 3. So M is over here, right? But once again, we do not know whether M is facing in or out. The immediate neighbors of T face opposite directions. So if T is facing in, they are facing out. Okay. Now after that, we know that there are 3 persons between R and S. That means R and S are diagonally opposite. So R and S cannot be over here because M is already over here. T and over here T is there. So R and S cannot be there. So we can make R and S sit over here, but there should be 1% gap between R and T. So R and S cannot be over here. So the only possibility is RS along this diagonal. But we don't know where is R, where is S. But RS, one of them will be here and one of them will be here. Okay. Next is RQ. See, RQ arrangement, whether R is here or here, there is just 1% between R and Q. So if R is here, Q cannot be here, Q has to be here. If R is here, still Q cannot be here, Q has to be here. So in either case, Q has to be here. Okay. Now R is sitting second to the right of Q. Only 3%. See, this is done. This is done. T is T. R and S face opposite direction. P and S face opposite direction. N is sitting, so P is not an immediate neighbor of Q. So P cannot be over here. So P can be here or here, right? And O is also not immediate neighbor of Q, right? So P and Q, they can be over here. PQ or PQ. I'm sorry, O and P, not Q, O and P. So definitely the remaining person N is over here. Now whether O is here or here, definitely he is facing outside, right? And here it is given that N is facing the same direction as that of O. So N should face outside. After that, N is sitting second to the left of P. Right, so that means there should be just 1% between N and P, right? So P has to be here, P cannot be over here because in that case there will be 3%. So P here and O here, right? Now N is sitting second to the left of P, so that's done over here because P is facing outwards. So left will be this way. Okay. Next is P and S face opposite direction. Now P is outside, that means S has to be inside, right? So but S can be over here or over here. One of them R and S, one will be here and other will be here. Now we have this clue as R is sitting second to the right of Q, but that is for sure that S is facing inside. So suppose I take S over here and R over here, Let's see what happens. So S is facing inside and R outside. Now we have to see R is sitting second to the right of Q. So, and T is sitting second to the right of R. So T is sitting over here. So right of R, that means R is this place is correct for R, right? No, in that case, I'm sorry, this is left. So R has to be here and S should be here facing inside. Now R facing outside. So R is sitting, T is sitting second to the right of R. So right of R should be this way. Now we are clear with everything. And from the first statement, R is sitting second to the right of Q. So R is sitting over here. So this is right side of Q. That means if Q is facing outside, that means Q is facing outside. Now R and M, they are facing opposite directions. So if R is out, M is in. Okay, so we have got the setting arrangement, the direction of each and every person. Now we can try the questions. Which of the following statement is true regarding T according to the given sitting arrangement? T is sitting second to the left of S. No, T is sitting right. T is sitting exactly between O and P, so that's definitely correct. Okay, so this one is done. Then how many persons in the given setting arrangement face outside? So outside is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 person outside. Okay, so similarly you can try all the question. What is the position of M with respect to R? So M with respect to R, so R is facing outside, so 1, 2, 3, third left, so you can just mark third to the left. Okay, so this way you can do all the questions. I hope you are clear with this. Definitely it is time consuming but not that difficult, but as I already suggested you, try these sort of questions at the end when you have time, right? Do not waste your time in doing this sort of questions in the initial stage of your paper. Okay, you may lose some time, and because of that you will not be able to do some questions which are actually not time consuming.